Welcome back, guys, if you're not new, and welcome if you're new. It's another drawing video, and this one is a little different. It's a real time video instead of a video that got speeded up. And of course, as you can see, it's made on a A3 piece of paper instead of the sketchbook. Yeah, so it's a pretty long video, and hopefully I have stuff to talk about in the video, or else that would be quite boring. But I think I have. But again, we'll see. I'll probably just be rambling about some random stuff. Yeah. As always, I start with the eyes, which I know is like a bad habit of mine, but I just kind of build the faces around the eyes in a way, because I think for me the eyes are very important. Like they're the focus, because the face doesn't have the right shape. The nose is a little bit too big, and the mouth is a little bit, boring. So what you're left with, if you want to convey the feeling of something is not realistic, but just nice or scary or whatever, the eyes are very important. Yeah. Of course, I'm using the brush pen, and the brush pen it's great. It's fantastic as a pen when I use it with a larger canvas, because even though I have very thin and I have very thick lines in this piece, it's all made with the same pen. It's been reliable. It can do very deep, dark, black lines, and it can also do very fine lines, or even some kind of, I don't know if I want to call it ghost lines, but it could be a word for it, when the paint or the ink is almost dried up, but it still puts down a little bit. Yeah, I've done that as well. Yeah. So it's just building up the character and trying to get some sort of symmetry. Not exactly the same, but definitely close to it. So I've been trying to just draw a lot. I haven't had paint. I bought paint yesterday, but it hasn't arrived yet because it's the weekend. But it will in the next week, which I'm just happy about that. Not about spending the money, because I'm a broke student. But I am happy that I get to paint real soon. Then I have to make a sketch what I want to do, because it's a larger canvas, so I have more room. And I have a couple of ideas, which, could be good or could be bad. We'll see. But I have a little bit of a plan in a way. So I have to try some stuff out. And that's new and good and nice. At least I think so. Yeah. You know what else would be nice? Is if you guys liked, subscribed, and commented. At least liked and subscribed. That would be awesome. And if you threw in a comment, that would be pretty cool. I love reading the comments and responding to them. If there's something to respond to. I think sometimes since I'm dyslexic, of course, that doesn't help. But sometimes I also struggle to respond with more than just, the heart and the like. Because, yeah, it's like, I just think if I write thank you after everything, it becomes kind of like, boring. So when I get a question or something I can answer or have a deeper meaning with my my message back, it's more, it's more likely, of course. And sometimes I forget to do it, and then I remember, and then I forget, because I'm a little bit stupid. But we will see, of course. Doesn't have to. You can if you want to. Yeah, I was really scared that these two circles, this negative space in the drawing was gonna make the nose, look a lot more like male genitalia, and that wasn't the point of this painting to look like that, but it was certainly a choice, but it worked on the end. I think kind of has this bridge piercing vibe, if you know what that is. Of course, it's a piercing in the cartilage of your nose. I don't know if it's cartilage, but just the part of your nose that's in between your eyes. Yeah. Simple drawing, and it takes a while when I'm doing it, you know. So all my drawings are typically, not all of them, but most of my drawings are a fair amount longer than the videos. And that's, sometimes you just don't want to do a 25-minute voiceover for a drawing, and sometimes I want to. I do feel that if it's in the smaller sketchbook, sometimes I can get away with a drawing being made in 10 minutes or 11 or something like that, but most of the time it's about 15-20 minutes in the A5 sketchbook. It can be about 15 on the short end, 20, 30, something like that. And with these, it can take anywhere from 25 minutes to 20 minutes, or even multiple days, but not in not 48 hours, but just that I put it down and then come back to it because I didn't feel inspired enough to do that. If it makes sense. Yeah. So it varies a lot, and of course paintings take the longest, the very, very longest, but that's also because I do so much more in a painting than I do in a drawing. But both have their respective qualities, I would say, in my opinion at least. Some people like the drawings more, some people like the paintings, some don't even like anything. But that's alright, I guess. Not really anything I can do about that. Yeah. It has been weird not having to work. Like I'm happy about it now because it's Sunday. I just want to chill. But I next time I have to work is, what's the day before Friday? Is it Tuesday or Thursday? Either way, it's the day before Friday, the day after Wednesday. I think Thursday. I think it is. And having to work, not so late in the week, that's fine. But I have 5 days where I don't work or something. That's a lot for me at least, and also it's gonna be a lot on my paycheck. So hopefully, I think I can snag a shift or two before, at least one. I think I will. I just just write to a friend if they have, not a friend and a colleague, if they have a shift that they want gone in the next week, because I want to work. Well, it's not that I want to work, to be honest. It's I want to get paid at the end of the month, because it costs money being alive. And if I work hard enough, I can save more and still have enough to spend for myself. So yeah, so I definitely have to work. I don't have to work every day or take everybody's shifts, but I would like to work at least 2 times a week, at least. And it will just hopefully be great. I think it will. I think she wants, she'll be happy if I ask to take some of her shift. Cause no, I don't think it's like she doesn't like working, but I think she always, we take our shifts ourselves, so you kind of bid on it, and I think she always she bids on more than she can chew, in a way. So she doesn't always plan too much ahead, and usually she gets everything she bids on, which is weird. But I don't make the rules, I guess. Our boss does. So I'm just trying to get, take some shifts from people because I want money. Yeah. Doing the ears. I'm doing these like weird elongated rectangle ears, and I have done them before in a couple of drawings, I think. I really like them here though, they're great. They put in so much, they put in a lot of character. It's another weird detail, but also it fixes the proportions a little bit, because if it's just an ear that's really huge, it becomes, I wouldn't say childlike, but it becomes different. But when I do this, it's weird and different, and I love that. But also, it takes up a lot of space. So it makes the face and the character overall just more proportioned. At least the proportions look better. And I love that a lot. So I'm just putting in detail, and like you can also see the area around the eyes and the nose is heavily detailed, and I kind of want to have that feeling uh, all over the piece. I want it to be like nice in a way. Of course, I want all my drawings to be nice, but I want this one to be more detailed because I can. That's one of the things I love about the A3 paper, or just drawing on something larger with a pen like the brush pen, is I can make very small, cute, nice, perfect details, but I can always also always fill in large open spaces with just black or brush strokes if I want to, so it doesn't take a million years. So I get the best of both worlds. This is like really a highly like praise to the brush pen, but I didn't realize it was this great until I had one, and I'm kind of sad I haven't had one earlier, because I'm still figuring it out, and I'm still trying to become better with every drawing I make. But progress is never linear necessarily. It's not like that. After 10 drawings, you're better than your first drawing. Probably are, but it comes to a point where you only become better by trying out new things that would go out of your comfort zone, because that's the way you got better in the first place, by doing stuff outside of your comfort zone. Yeah. Also filling up the face a little bit. I thought it was a little bit too skinny, too yeah, just too small proportionate. Just doing some detail on the ears, fixing up some weird lines, and just some detail, making it weird in the best way possible. I was really debating giving this character hair, but if you've seen the thumbnail, you know that I didn't give this one hair. I just made him not bald, but kind of very, very short hair, almost like a buzz cut or something like that. And that's because I wouldn't say I suck at drawing hair. I just don't like to draw hair either. I don't think it's a waste of time. I just think sometimes it can ruin a otherwise great piece of art if the hair is rendered badly, or just yeah, it's, you know. And I wasn't trying to play it safe with this drawing, but everything looked really good. So I feel like I had to do the drawing justice. So I wouldn't mess it up at the very last end where I'm trying to do hair or something stupid, which I don't do that much, and I should do it more, I know, but I didn't want to risk this really cool drawing. Yeah. I haven't, done I have done my Danish assignment, but I haven't put in what's it called, the punctuation, just so it stands right. I have to do that before Wednesday, so I will do that. I'll probably, maybe I've thought about getting an AI to do it, but that's probably not a good idea, so I kind of have to do it myself. I can do it not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow, because then we have extra Danish lessons, because we're dyslexic, or me and some of my classmates are. Technically all my classmates, but not all my friends at school are. We're just a lot of dyslexic people at our school, because we have the school has this program thing, and it works and it's nice. So that's why I go there, and it's close by. So win-win. Yeah. So as you probably figured out by now, it's a lot of small things that build up the larger picture, at least in my art style. It's a lot of just coloring and adding lines and details. It's really a great tool. I would recommend, though, like, before you get a brush pen, just remember that if you hold your pencil or pen or whatever you're using very much to the side, you'll get very wide lines of ink. But if you hold it like kind of upright, you get smaller lines of ink. And depending on what you want, you have to hold it a certain way. And there's been a few times where I thought, oh yeah, it will just make a small line, but it didn't. It did not make just a small line. It completely ruined the picture. Luckily, not this one, and I've gotten a way better. But I've definitely tried, and I've definitely seen some mishaps with it. But it's like that with every tool, because it's the point. Yeah. Putting in some more. It's kind of relaxing in a way. Like, of course, it's relaxing, but to do is like you kind of just slowly build up something, and you don't even realize that 25 minutes gone by. It's not like you feel every second. You don't even feel every minute. Sometimes I just start painting or drawing, and now that I'm recording it most of the time, I can see how long I've been at something, like, or for this session or whatever, or this drawing. And sometimes I'm kind of like, okay, I'm still fast compared to others, but it's not like that fast. But for me, that's also great, because it's not a competition of who's fastest or greatest, or who has the most realistic art style, who has the this and this and that. Bleh. It's not a competition. It's you against you. It's the best you can do versus the best you've done. And if you want to get faster, I don't really know. I don't know if anybody wants to get faster, that then you wouldn't be enjoying the process. Because I think of it like this: like, if you have two movies, one movie is 4 hours long, and another is only an hour long. But if the 4-hour movie is really, really good, it can still feel too short. You want more. You want to keep watching it or keep drawing or painting on this piece or this. But if a movie is 1 hour and it's really, really bad, you don't want to watch another minute. You feel every single minute in it. A minute in it. That rhymes. So it's bad. It sucks. You wouldn't. A bad movie is always too long, and a good movie is always too short. And you can think of that a bit like with art. The process is great, no matter how long it is, if you like it. And if you love it, the process will always feel too short. But if you hate it and you force yourself to draw, to paint, to be creative, you will feel like you're watching a very bad movie. It's taking too long. It's just it's taking too long. It's boring, and it's just no. Like, at least not in my opinion. I didn't give him eyebrows either, because I didn't want to. So that was, the reason why. Sometimes also a good way of making your characters look kind of different, like removing very normal things like eyebrows or yeah. Sometimes I remember to do eyebrows and sometimes I forget to. But it works out. Like, eyebrows are important, but it's not the most important thing ever. And sometimes my characters has so much, face covering or detail or things around their eyes, and just it would go over the eyebrows, so you wouldn't even be able to see the eyebrows, if that makes sense. Also, so it's not just me forgetting it, of course, but that is a part of it. Like, definitely. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. You can see him doing the very last piece here, adding some stray hairs. At least something to resemble stray hairs. And making the eyelashes longer, sharper, weirder. Trying to build up a weird character in a way. It's great. Sometimes though, you always have this feeling that, I can do more, I can put in more detail, I can do this and then we'll do that. But sometimes you also gotta realize that enough is enough. Like, I know a painting is done when it's done. It just kind of comes to me in a way that's like, okay, yeah, I can't do anything more, and I don't want to do anything more. Yeah. It just comes to this point where it's like, you have to be careful not to ruin your art by doing too much, but you also has to, like, realize the art's full potential by doing enough. Kind of I know, a weird way of putting it, but it should make sense. Yeah. Adding a little bit more, a little bit of this and that. And I've also been getting better at slowing down at the very end, just really making sure what I'm doing is what I want to be doing. Sometimes I even let the art piece, I put it down for a while and I look at it without, the pencil or the thing in hand to draw with or to create with, because then I kind of separate myself from I'm in the zone, I'm just having to draw and paint, and look at it more objectively than I normally would, because I can see it from a distance. Yeah, but it is about done right now. So I'm just signing the piece, and you get a full reveal where I'll recorded the thing, the drawing very nicely. And yeah, I want to say thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff, especially if you've watched all this way through. It's insane. Thank you guys, and love you guys. Bye bye. Bye guys. Bye.